I couldn't think of a better place to share the Advent devotion on this Friday, December the 10th, than here in our own nursery here at the church. I want to share with you a hymn that was written a long time ago, but one of my favorite, and not just because it's written about children, but it's also the story behind it. It says, "Gentle Jesus, meek and mild, look upon a little child. Pity my simplicity, suffer me to come to thee. For Lamb of God, I look to thee. Thou shalt be my example be. The art gentle, meek and mild, thou wast once a little child." It goes on, 2 or 3 more verses. But when Charles Wesley wrote this in 1707, and yes, then later published it, he began writing it, yes, they say as a child, but then later on in his life, when he and his brother John were at the university and became those boys, what we call the Method Club or the Methodist. The hymn was published in 1742, I needed to correct myself, but he wrote it from his own sense of who he was. Some say maybe he wrote it later on also for his own children, but some say also that it was written because of looking at the children in England and London that were working in poverty and in the industries, and that they were used almost like a slave labor. He saw the pain and the hurt around him, and he looked to the gentle Jesus, meek and mild, as an example. During the season, we think of all the things we're buying gifts or going places, and we have the children's nativity coming up tomorrow or on Saturday, but that we are looking to just the children, the younger ones, the ones that find the gifts under the tree. But we must look at ourselves because we are all children of God. The 3 words I want you to walk away with today is gentleness, meekness, and mildness. As Christians, we are called to be gentle, with all lowliness and gentleness, with long-suffering, bearing with one another in love, from Ephesians 4:2. That we are to be gentle with not just ourselves, but with others. And that's hard to do, especially when we encounter individuals with differences of opinion and differences of belief. But the scriptures tell us we must practice that in body, mind, and spirit. Then the meekness. Someone has described that quality as power under control. In other words, the individual does not feel the need to keep proving him or herself. That we don't have to prove. You can just say, okay, I may disagree with you. Or that I may not want to do that for myself, but I will stand with you in time of trial or tribulation, and if a person chooses something that we disagree with. I will be here for you in our meekness. But the last one, mildness. The word is found only once in the Bible, and that's in the King James Version, which refers to Jacob as a mild man. And yes, in Genesis 25:27. The Hebrew word, though, means tam or tem. Seems to mean the wholeness of holy, rather than what we might think of. It's a different definition. But it's when there is a mildness, or I would even call it a peace within ourselves, that when we come to terms with who we are and who God has created us to be, that then we find that peace, that mildness, that contentment, that holy moment in our lives. I pray that in this Christmas and Advent season, that we will find, yes, the gentleness, the meekness, and the mildness. But then we will live it out in every season, not just in this season. I pray that as we hear this hymn, the gentleness, Jesus, meek and mild, look upon a child, pity my simplicity, suffer me to come to thee, that we will come to Jesus, and that we will be, yes, like Jesus, the gentle Jesus, that we may find the gentleness, the meekness, and the mildness in our lives with Christ. God bless, and blessed Advent, and Christmas is coming.